had tubes in his throat, so he couldn't speak. And he couldn't move except to just wiggle his right hand. And so we put a pen in his hand, and he wrote on the piece of paper, "How long before I can coach?"
Neither his injuries nor his cancer diagnosis had shaken his resolve. But then, another setback. 14 days after surgery, his leg was amputated below the knee. Still, he persevered.
There we go.
After 55 days in the hospital,
Wasn't worth resting.
Don Meyer left in a wheelchair and was at work at 4:45 the next morning,
Now we take a shot with Mitch over here.
where he coached all year without missing a single game.
Use your hands more. You'll make some mistakes. Just use them a little. I love to see how a team can improve and kids can improve, so that's why I coach. I mean, there's nothing better than that. I mean, it just eats you up inside how lucky you can be coaching kids. And we need to have a great warm-up doing those things there if we want to do them in the game.
On January 10th, Meyer won his 903rd game, setting a record that just months before seemed so out of reach.
We're never going to be able to thank all of you, but you need to know how much it means to our family and to our team. You go through what I went through with this, you're going to get emotional, you're going to cry a little more, you're going to hug people, you're going to want to say what's important to people before they leave, because you might never get a chance again to say it. It was a blessing in a lot of ways for me. It's made me a different person.
Coach Don Meyer.
Yesterday I was fortunate to visit with Coach John Wooden, and he gave me this card with guidance his father gave to him upon his graduation from grade school. One of his dad's favorite pieces of advice was the following: don't whine, don't complain, and don't make excuses. Every time I've gone to rehab workouts, these three statements have slapped me right in the face as I glance around the room and see that everyone doing their rehab with me has it much tougher than I do. The F word has been unfortunately used highly in our society and the world today, and we use it in our basketball program also. Our F words are faith, family, and friends. Faith that God has a reason for sparing my life at this time, so I can try to serve others for a few more years. Family, such as my wife Carmen, our children Jerry, Brooke, and Brittany, who've given me constant concern, care, and prayer. I would not be here tonight if my wife of 42 years hadn't devoted her entire time to totally bringing me back from where I was. Friends, like our current team of Northern State University Wolves, all the former players from Northern State, Lipscomb University, and Hamline University, and coaches all over the country who encouraged me with letters, emails, phone calls, and visits, and spent nights sitting with me all night long so my wife could rest, so she could stay up the next day and make all the big decisions. I've learned from this odyssey that peace is not the absence of troubles, trials, and torment, but calm in the midst of them. I first met Coach Jim Valvano at a Nike clinic we were speaking at in San Francisco. When I sat with him in the hospitality room, he showed me how one human being could speak, tell jokes, laugh, and entertain us all for an hour without ever breathing. The man lived each moment to the fullest. He was high on life. He was the kind of guy who never wasted an at-bat. He always swung from the heels for the fences, and he never got cheated. Not one time. And you know, that's the way I would like to live the rest of my life, and I think you would too. Jim Valvano achieved every goal he set for himself in life in his career as a coach. When he reached the end of his run on this earth, he set one last goal: find a cure for cancer. And with all of us helping the Jimmy V Foundation, I think he'll nail that one too. Thank you.
Follow the star to a place unexpected. Would you believe after all we've projected? A child in a manger, lowly and small, the weakest of all, unlikeliest hero, wrapped in his mother's shawl, just a child